Welcome to Sports Day. I'm Jane Dougall. Man of the... Hello, a very warm welcome to the programme. Is there a better midfielder in world football right now? Jude Bellingham's performance in England's 3-1 victory over Italy last night certainly cemented that opinion amongst many fans. And despite goals from Marcus Rashford and Harry Kane, 20-year-old Bellingham was given man of the match for helping England qualify for next year's Euros. The Real Madrid player's talents are being compared to a young Wayne Rooney before the 2004 Euros. Joe Linsky has been taking a look at England's young superstar. Now, the chief executive of the Players Football Association has said far more needs to be done to protect players after a survey found that 80% didn't feel enough was being done to keep them safe from pitch invasions. A survey by the PFA given to players from the 3 divisions below the Premier League also found that almost 60% of English Football League players do not support the new added time rules. And more than 3/4 feel there isn't a substantial break between seasons. They're also split almost 50-50 on whether VAR should be introduced in the leagues below the Premier League. But this was the standout statistic. More than 80% of players in the EFL feel more needs to be done to identify those responsible for pitch invasions, harassment of players and discriminatory chanting. Well, earlier I spoke to Chief Executive of the PFA, Maheta Malango, and began by asking him if it was up to individual clubs to tighten their security.
I think the key...
Injuries on added time. And there are many fans who feel that because there's a certain percentage of players who time waste, that perhaps it's their fault. And that's maybe why England's refereeing body brought in the use of more additional time. Maheta Malango speaking to me earlier. Now, Newcastle United have confirmed their midfielder Sandro Tonali is being investigated by the Italian Prosecutor's Office and the Italian Football Federation in relation to alleged illegal betting activity. Newcastle say the 23... To the Women's Champions League now, where Glasgow City have it all to do. They're currently in action against the Norwegian champions Brann, but they have to overturn a 4-0 deficit away. And meanwhile, Manchester United travel to Paris to take on PSG with their tie level at 1-1. It is their first time in the competition, and manager Mark Skinner says they believe they can get past the 2-time finalists.
We believe.
But what a weekend of rugby we were treated to in the World Cup. England are the only home nation still left in the tournament after beating Fiji, but their next opponent, South Africa, will be somewhat more of a challenge if their magnificent performance against France is anything to go by. They play each other in Saturday's semi-final, and already the mind games have begun. In the other match, Argentina play New Zealand, and our sports correspondent Andy Swiss is in Paris for us. First of all, Andy, you have team announcements. Let's take you to India now, where the Cricket World Cup is getting really interesting. Afghanistan were hoping to build on their famous victory against England, but it was the in-form New Zealand who were their opponents today, and it turned into a rather different occasion. Joe Wilson reports. Investigators into snooker's largest ever match-fixing scandal have told the BBC that a perfect storm of corruption, money troubles, cultural issues and the COVID-19 lockdown led to the scandal. Liang Wenbo and Li Hang were given lifetime bans, while 8 others, including major winners Yang Bintao and Zhao Xingtong, were handed suspensions. It's hoped that will act as a deterrent to potential cheats. BBC Sport has been given access to the investigation and to a company that monitors suspicious betting patterns. Now, earlier this year, Czech Republic midfielder Jakub Jankto came out publicly as gay, becoming the first current international male footballer to do so. He posted a social media video to tell his story, and he's spoken to the BBC about his decision and why he feels so much better that he's not hiding who he is anymore. Jankto there. Now, we all know the FA Cup is all about shocks and romance. Well, we've got an early one for you. 8th tier club Sheppey United, who disbanded and reformed twice in the early 2000s, have reached the FA Cup first round proper for the first time. They beat Billericay Town on penalties last night, and they've been drawn against League 2 Walsall. Well, earlier I spoke to the chairman, Tony Hughes, and began by asking him how the celebrations went. Is this run going to help with your financial situation at the club too?
Oh.
Congratulations to Sheppey. Lovely to see those celebrations, wasn't it? Just time to update you on the Women's Champions League. Glasgow City not doing very well against Brann. At half-time, it's 1-0 in the night, but that's 5-0 on aggregate to Brann. Manchester United just about to get underway in France, playing PSG. You can follow it live on the BBC Sport app or on the BBC website. That's all from us, though. Thanks very much for watching Sports Day. We'll have updates throughout the rest of the night. Bye for now.